If it makes me drunk, I'm glad to drink it.
Are there no standards anymore?
I want to show you something. In our travels throughout England, I have taken swords in raids and battles. This I took in a holmgang against two oafish brothers in East Anglia. This but a worn twig, but is still my favorite.
So you've traveled to all corners of this land before arriving at Ravensthorpe. To what end?
I mean to entice you and others like you to join in the glorious raids along the River Seine.
Who have you talked with thus far?
Many. Jarl Hemminger, Guthrum, even Halfdan. Paris itself is set to be besieged. And after that, we will have amassed more riches than anyone in England has dared imagine.
Let me guess how many Jarls will join you on your Frankish raids and sieges. None.
They just fail to see the scale of the bounty we stand to plunder.
What do you really want, Toka?
Every word I have said is true. But there is something else. A new power is rising in Francia.
What kind of power?
The Frankish kingdoms have been united under one king, Charles the Fat. And with this combined strength, Charles has begun a slow march against the Norse villages there. He killed my father and wiped out my village.
I am sorry for your father and your village. We have our own troubles here in this land.
With Charles the Fat in power, those troubles will worsen. After his campaign in Francia, he will come for England. Charles will come for you and your clan. His armies multiply by the day. Real soldiers and cavalry, not like the Saxon farmhands and gillers in these parts.
If the Raven clan were to help you, what is it you would ask of us?
Our chieftain, Siegfried, prepares to siege Paris and make the Franks rethink their actions against we Norse. And our longships will grow heavy with treasure in the doing.
My scouts attest to the claims of Toka and her people. But before now, I saw no reason to involve our clan.
Do you see reason now?
If the Mad King Charles does have ambitions for England, we should act. The Siegfrieds you mentioned. He rallies the Norse there. Joining him could be our chance to push back against this new king.
Or I could meet this Charles myself. And if he will not deal with me, I kill him.
This problem is bigger than one king. If we kill one, another will rise. Were he murdered by a Norse from England, it could bring the Franks to our shores even sooner.
Then I will be mindful of who I kill and who I ally with in Francia. Could be a stable king is the way to keep Ravensthorpe safe.
Let me see the sword. I wish to examine the ironwork.
No, I stole this, and it is mine.
Fine. If you will not show it to me, I will have to take it. Ready yourself, Pierre. I challenge you to a holmgang.
Enough. Toka, you came here looking for help with this new Frankish threat. And the Raven clan will answer your call.
You will? You will! I promise you will not regret this. Find Pierre when you have prepared, and we will make for Francia at once.
Thank you.
My head. I should have kept to ale. Toka said to find Pierre when I'm ready to travel to Francia.
Eivor, are you prepared to go to Ireland?
Assar, you did not tell me the king was my cousin.
It was most amusing this way, was it not? A little mystery.
I prefer to know what is what. But it was a pleasant surprise.
He's eager to see you. Shall we set sail?
Yeah, I would like to see this land. And my cousin Barith.
Ireland. A patchwork of petty kings jostling for hills and pastures and green glens. My adopted Isle.
Azar, how is it that Barith, as Norse as ice, is king of Dublin?
Dublin is a Viking city, Eivor. But in fact, merchants and beggars come from all parts to parade in its muddy streets.
Odd to think of Barith as king of a city.
It perhaps sounds grander than it is. Ireland has many kings. They litter the countryside, and Barith's throne is not secure. Flann Sinna calls the tune.
Who's he?
Soon to be crowned High King of all Ireland. Flann distrusts Vikings, though he needs them.
Barith will find a way. As a boy, he wasn't much of a fighter, but somehow always came out all right.
I'm sure what you say is true. Certainly he is loved by his people. Your crew can find lodging here. Come, let us find Barith.
Eivor! Blood of my blood! Look at you! You have Aunt Rosta's cheekbones!
And you, the 7-year-old lives in you still.
It has been a long stretch since we pelted old Ganfrid with apple cores.
He never forgave us that.
And Sigurd in the clan? How goes with all?
There's much to tell you, Barith. But let me breathe your Irish air.
Thank you for keeping my ports from being set ablaze in my absence.
My ports? Yes, old man. I can rule my city even without you here. Eivor, you arrive in good time. I'm hosting a feast in honor of my son, Sigfrid. He is 17 today.
A 17-year-old son.
And rather a difficult boy at that. Come, there's much to show on the way to my castle.
A kingship, a son, and a castle. Truly, you have a fine life, Barith.
Castle? It is a wooden house. Finely crafted, to be sure, but in Shiraz, it would be home to a middling rug merchant.
Lead me to your rock merchant's wooden hovel, Barith.
Just look at her docks. Wee babe of a city, but the biggest port in all Ireland.
You cannot appreciate Irish air without enduring the stench of our docks.
It is upon the strength of this port I plan to secure my kingship.
Assar told me that your throne may not be entirely steady.
King Flann needs some persuading is all. Dublin's vast trade web will bring wealth to all Ireland. If Flann can be made to see that, my kingship and that of my children's children will be safe.
I cannot guarantee your throne, but a vast trading web is within my power.
No one else I'd trust my commerce to, old man.
You let him call you that?
I call him worse things.
Borith, my king! I still owe you a horn of ale.
This is where I leave you.
Don't miss the banquet.
I'll be there shortly.
Barad, my mighty king.
Aoife, this is my cousin, Eivor. Show him the bow I had you make for him.
This is for me? The craftsmanship is beautiful.
Me best work. Give her a try. Hit the targets before the sand runs out. Think you can get them all?
Of course I will. Stand ready to be astonished.
Aren't you the confident one? Sure, I'll be embarrassed for you if you shat on the eggs.
Watch my arrows fly.
I certainly will. Go!
The bow needs tuning, but it's a very thoughtful gift.
You had a long sea voyage, haven't got your land legs yet.
Well done, cousin. Wait, is that a house of God?
Aye, Christ's own church. Ireland is mostly Christian now, and so is Dublin. Many Norse chew the wafer.
You make a place for them.
Them? I myself have a place in Christ's house, as I do in the house of Thor. So long as a god has my back, he has my altar. I've built this city up from rubble. 20 years ago, us Vikings were beaten. The Irish took revenge and sacked Dublin.
Asa told me that it's a Viking city.
Norse founded it, and I nursed it back to health. When I became king, I was king of a mud pit.
Jú, en fyrra var einslíkt. Harpa kemur muni sáð vera í jörð, Freyr vill.
There, up ahead, my home. My only regret is that my mother and my wife aren't here to greet you. They've gone on pilgrimage to the mountains just now. The waters there improve Mother's health. I am left to discipline my wayward son.
And to host a banquet.
Which should be already underway.
Up, Barad! Fodia!
Here we are. Please, go enjoy yourself. I must have a word with my son. Come meet him before the night's out.
Hey! You're Borith's cousin.
Hi. Enjoying yourself?
It's great crack. It's a fine thing to celebrate future King Siegfried.
I'm curious. How do you feel Barith has done as king?
Oh, he's done a lovely job, he has. Likes to throw feasts. Invites us common folk. More host than king, perhaps, but he's a fine man, and the city has never been busier.
Can I ask, what is your life like in this city?
Well, there's a fair amount of work, isn't there? Hauling crates, shoveling muck. I'm a tanner myself. Long days stripping hides and dousing them in cow piss. You can probably smell the stench.
I can. Enjoy the feast, friend.
You as well. What do you expect, Potter? That I follow your example? The example of a pack mule?
Azar, I was not sure if I would see you here.
Why is that?
I thought you'd rather take stock of your wares than placidly observe caterwauling Vikings.
And you would rather spend time with this gossiping auntie?
I like to greet everyone at parties.
There is no shortage of amusements. Enjoy yourself.
That I follow your example? The example of a pack mule?
They will attack on sight here.